Hi everyone, Fiona here. Welcome back to Lavender Blue and welcome if you're new. I've got my latest printable kit here. And this one is the free one for my Ko-fi members. If you're not a member, there's a link in the description box below. And this month you get a kit with 97 pages. Okay guys, it's 97 pages. It's a huge kit, and it's a bit of a different one this month because this kit is based around a story, and it's the story of Elowen. Her name is Elowen Ashmere, and she is the keeper of the dragons. So the kit's called the Keeper of the Four Flights. And once you understand the story, you'll understand what that means. So she is a dragon keeper. It's obviously fantasy themed, set back in medieval times. And we'll go into the story. The story is included in the kit. So these here are just what I put in as pages you might want to use on your cover. You might want to turn them into cover toppers. I'm going to be using one of them. I haven't made up my mind which one yet. I think it'd be nice to use Elowen. So that's that. And now this is the story. We actually have it in two different two different ways. We've got this one here, which is a sheet of paper that you can include in, perhaps as a piece of writing paper. I've printed the plain coffee dye on the back, which I always include with my kits. I include this one and aligned pages as well. Okay, so I'm going to cut that one out and fold it up and put it into a pocket somewhere. So let me just briefly tell you about the story. And the other printable of the story is like a little booklet that we're going to make up. Okay, so the Dragon Sanctuary, the legend of the four flights. So long ago, when magic flowed freely across the land, dragons and humans lived in harmony beneath the protection of the ancient dragon sanctuary. At its heart stood the heart crystal, a sacred gem that kept the balance of light and shadow, life and memory, day and night. So in the sanctuary, there are 4 sections which are called flights. That's why she's the keeper of the 4 flights. And we have the forest flight with the forest dragons. We have the crystal flight with the crystal dragons. Then we have the moon flight and the shadow flight. Under forest flight, it says, deep within the verdant depths, the forest flight took refuge. The first tree, ancient and wise, hid the green root crystal among its roots. Guardian of the wild and the growing things, the forest flight protected the crystal and all living life. So the forest flight, as its relic, they're called relics, it has a green or emerald crystal. The crystal flight, high in the Hall of Echoes, where memories shimmer like stars, the crystal flight guarded the memory shard. They kept the echoes of the past safe, so history would never be lost to time. So the crystal flight has a crystal shard, which is called the memory shard. And the moon flight, among the starfall heights, beneath silver skies and moonlit blooms, the moon flight watched over the moonstone compass. So that's the relic of the moon flight, the moonstone compass. They guided travellers, dreamers and seekers with the light of intuition and the wisdom of the stars. The shadow flight, in the vaults of eclipse where shadows hold ancient secrets, the shadow flight protected the obsidian key. They ensured that dangerous knowledge stayed hidden, keeping the world safe from darkness not yet understood. So then we have the prophecy. It was foretold that one day a keeper with a brave heart would rise to restore what was broken. Guided by friendship, loyalty, and the light within, they would reunite the 4 relics and awaken the heart crystal once more. So the keeper is Elowen Ashmere. She's the keeper. And she's the one that comes along and reunites the 4 relics and awakens the heart crystal once more. So the journey, a young keeper named Elowen, carrying the lantern of hope, set out on a journey across the realms. With her loyal companion Brindle, a curious forest hatchling, she travelled through the forgotten paths, solved ancient riddles, and earned the trust of each flight. The return, when the 4 relics were brought together in the heart of the ancient dragon sanctuary, their light merged in a brilliant radiance. The heart crystal was whole again, and then harmony was restored. The dragons returned, the sanctuary bloomed, and balance was restored to the land. The bond between dragons and humans was healed, and a new age of peace began. The legend lives on in every heart that believes in courage, harmony, and the magic of friendship. So that's the story there. Okay. This one here is a map of the sanctuary, and we have the 4 flights. We have the forest, which is called the Verdant Depths. We have the Starfall Heights, which is the moon one, the Hall of Echoes, which is the crystal one, and the Vaults of Eclipse, which is the moon, the shadow dragons. And in the core, we have the heart crystal. We have the first tree up here. So that's just a map of the sanctuary. Now, first of all, I've got the picture pages, or the decorative pages, and they're all double, so they can be folded in half. And now I've printed on the back of mine, I've printed on, once again, this coffee stain paper on the back of these ones, so that there is, you know, more writing space. I've tried to create as much writing space as I can in this journal. So we have the decorative pages, and then we have some background pages. So this one here with Elowen, once again, and this one is the first tree. So we just have a few pictures of her going through the different sanctuaries, all the different flights. Here she is at the entrance. There she is with her lamp, and there's little Brindle. She's at the entrance of the forest flight there, and the crystal flight here. And I've put the lined one on the back of that one. Here we have her with the crystal, of one of the crystals. And then we have here, this is actually a picture of when they're all brought back together. So they're not really in order, they're just, when you fold them in half, they're not going to be in order anyway, if you know what I mean, because there'll be one like at the front of the signature and one at the back. So they're just, you know, you can place them anywhere, but they just represent the story. That one I've put lined page as well. Here she is again, and little Brindle, and here is, she's looking into the valley. That one's got plain on the back. Here she is again, and little Brindle. Something went wrong with my printer there, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. Here we just have another one where she's looking over the moon sanctuary with her lamp, and that's a cute little Brindle, portrait of him there. I've got the crystal. here, I think, is the Forest Flight here. And lined paper. I've either put lined or blank on the back of these. There she is, looking another one with a dragon up here. And here they are with the book. When the restoration was done, she does an entry into the book. More pages there. Right here, now we come to the background pages. So they're still decorated, but they've got a bit more space in the center here. So there are 6 for each realm. 6 for each realm, so that's 24. And what I've done is printed them front and back. So I've printed them front and back. So I end up with 3, you know, full pages for each realm. So this one is the forest realm. Just you can see all the trees there. And that's also the forest realm. Got a gate here, still in the forest realm. And this one with just some beautiful flowers and greenery there. Gate here. And a waterfall and lots of trees. Okay, so the next 6 are the moon shadow dragon realm. Got the moon there, got some of them flying around up here. That image there. This is where the compass would normally sit, the moonstone compass. Those 2, pretty one with some florals, and another floral one. So now we've got 6 of the crystal realm. This one here, these beautiful crystals. Another one here. And some more there. My printer printed crooked on this page, but I'm still going to use it. I just have to sort that out. So there are all the crystals, crystal realm, or crystal flight, and now we're into the shadow flight. This one's a bit more mysterious. A bit darker here because we're in the shadows. Okay, that's all the main pages. Then we have some patterned pages. I think I've got they're upside down. They might be. I think there's 10. 9, 10. Oh, it seems to be 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, there's 10. So we've got 10 pattern pages. I haven't printed anything on the back of these yet because I just wasn't sure how I was going to use them, whether I was going to incorporate them as pages or not, because I really like to use these for you know, creating ephemera and bits and pieces to go in, but I might use some of them as pages. I plan to do 2 signatures in this journal. It's going to be a hardcover, 2 signatures. I'll put the first 2 realms or flights in first signature and the second 2 in the second signature. You could do 4 signatures if you wanted to. We've got that one, I've got this one, the sort of dragon looking scales, crystals there. This represents the key one, the shadow key. Got some moons, some more keys, more moons. This is just some strips here that you could use it as is, or you could turn them into something else. This one's like a map. It's got like a compass. There's some more crystals. And that's the pattern papers. So now we come into the ephemera. This is all of the ephemera, which is a lot. As I said, the full thing is actually 97 pages, and it's free if you are a Ko-fi member. Other than that, you can purchase it in my Etsy. So we've got some envelopes. I just printed the plain tea dye on the back. Five big ones, then we've got a few little ones here. Now this is called the Dragon Keeper Field Guide. It's 3 pages. And we'll put this together as a little booklet. So there's the cover, and we've got all these inside pages, and they're just like what you might have as a field guide when you go through, and gives you a little bit of information about the different dragons. It's not really readable. It's more, you know, as a decorative thing. So I'm going to turn that into a little booklet. And it says up here, it's the Dragon Keeper Field Guide. And this is the back cover. These cards here represent the 4 relics. So we've got the emerald, the green emerald from the forest flight. We've got a crystal shard for the crystal dragons. We've got the moonstone compass and the obsidian key. Here we have the 4 different types of dragons. I printed that one twice. So we've got the shadow dragon, the moonstone dragon, the crystal dragon, and the forest dragon. For some reason I've printed them twice. I'm not sure why, but I'm sure I'll use them. And I have a few sheets like this. So we've got some small cards which you can use, you know, make whatever you want out of these. I really like having them because they're just pretty versatile. So on this one, I tried to make per sheet represent each flight also. So these are all forest related cards. Forest realm, and you've got the dragon there. These are all shadow realm. These are all related to the moon dragon, and these are all related to the crystal dragons. I have some fussy cuts. Got larger and smaller ones. So these are larger ones. You have a wax seal there. So just a few different things that you might see in back in those times, you know, a dragon sanctuary. And now we've got, I'm pretty sure there are some more fussy cuts, yeah. We've got just some horizontal cards here. And they're all different. Got some slanted pockets. Some small pockets here. So here are some smaller fussy cuts. And again, got some larger pockets here, dragon eggs. Here I've got some more fussy cuts and some little labels. So labels have the words on them just from the different parts of the story here. And that's little Brindle, and that's Elowen again. She's got Brindle on her shoulder there. So I've got a larger and a smaller one of her there. Some more here. And this is the story that we'd be turning into a booklet. So we have front cover. And we have the beginning, the 4 flights, the prophecy, the journey, the trials, the return, and then harmony restored. That's a little story booklet. Now we've got these tall journal cards. Smaller ones, 4 relics there, and the 4 dragons there. Tall tags. Smaller tags. More tags. We've got some more labels. They're the smaller labels, and I've just put those there to add, you know, fill up the space. You can use them as pockets or anything. Some larger labels here. And then I've got more labels, and I've got words here. And the words are all related to the story. And I've got Elowen's name, Warden of the 4 flights. And then I've just got some more patterns here that you could use for collaging, or turn them into bookmarks, or whatever you want to do. So that is the complete kit, and links are down in the description box below. As I said, it is 97 pages long, and it is free for well, it's going to be always free for my members, but it's the freebie for this month. Okay, and I will be making a journal, but I may not do all of it on YouTube. I will do some of it here on YouTube, and some you'll see probably as shorts videos or reels. So they'll be on my TikTok, my Facebook, and as well as on YouTube, because I have a lot of journals to get through, not just this one. Yeah, I'm very behind in making journals because I just haven't had the time, but I will show you how I'm going to do the cover of this one, and then, you know, show you as I go. Just may not all be in a long video, okay? So just watch out for me on the shorts as well. Okay, so that is this month's kit. I hope you like it, and will join me on the journey of Elowen Ashmere and her little baby, where is he? Her little baby Brindle. Can't find his portrait now, but yep, he's so cute. Oh, here they are together, Elowen and Brindle. Okay, so thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope to be back tomorrow with another video, so I'll see you very, very soon. Bye for now.